Alright, what's up guys? NinjaDeathStrike here, bringing you another battle from Magic the Gathering Duels of the Planeswalkers. We're going to go ahead and create a match. Free-for-all. Yep, that's what we want. So let's just pick our deck here. We did Deadwalkers last time. Let's try... what other decks do I like? White's pretty good. Let's try the blue one. Alright, and we have an opponent, so... we'll try Mind Maze. Mind Maze is a blue aggressive deck, which is pretty out of the ordinary. Normally blue is very slow and controlling, but not this deck. So this looks like a perfectly keepable hand. We can play all of these cards with the mana that we have in hand, and as soon as we hit another one, we can play this guy. So we're going to keep, and hopefully we're going to go first after Tansley7 decides if he wants to mulligan or not. So the blue deck is all about flying things that just do a lot of damage really fast. They're very aggressive. We do get to play first. That's exactly what we wanted. It's got some counter spells for support, but it's basically just about flooding the board with a bunch of tiny guys as fast as you can and overwhelming your opponent. Much like a lot of the decks in this game. So there's our third land. That's good for us. Let's see. We don't want to cast him yet. We're going to cast this guy. It's a 2/1 flyer 2, which is perfectly fine. He's very hard to hit since he's in the air. And he does, if he gets targeted, he dies, but what can he do? It's still good. So let's see. Our opponent is probably playing the Eldrazi deck. Ooh, that's a bear. So we're going to attack first. That's the same deck we faced last time that has a bunch of the ramp spells and just gets out huge creatures and ruins your day. Alright, so we could play 2 creatures here and really commit to the board, or we could play this unblockable guy. There's nothing to be blocked right now. So I think what we want to do is play both of these guys down and just put a bunch of power out next turn. So we've got a 1-mana 2/2, which is amazing, and then this guy who gets really big really fast because his power and toughness are equal to the number of illusions you have, and we have all illusions. So yep, that's pretty good. I do want to play it. I want to save these 2 guys to play on the same turn, though, because then they give each other hexproof. So we're going to... you're an illusion. We're going to cast this guy first, because he's actually going to make this guy a 4/4, and then we're going to attack with all of our guys. And there we go. Next turn, if we hit a land, we can cast both of these. That's going to be very good. It's going to give everything we have hexproof. So, be good stuff. And if we don't get another land, we'll probably just cast this guy anyhow. Green doesn't have a lot of ways to kill. So, oh, and he quit. He was playing the Eldrazi deck. In this game, if you concede, it turns you into a computer. So, I guess that's what happened. He's going to play Elvish Piper. So next turn we can expect some giant creature to come down, but he's going to be dead by then, so we're just going to play out our guys, give all of our guys hexproof, copy this guy, and then win the game. There we go. So that wasn't much of a match. Our opponent played a slow deck, and this deck preys upon slow decks. So that's going to be the end. We're going to do another match, because that was not a match. That was a beating. So let's see if we can get another opponent here. I'll pause it until we do. Oh, and as soon as I did that, we got another guy. So let's... yep, we're recording. Let's start the match. Looks like he's going to be playing blue as well, judging on his avatar. Let's see, what do we have? 3 lands. Yeah, I think this is keepable. He Oh, he's playing black, so he probably has the zombie deck. Land is not what we wanted to see. 3 lands is basically all that this deck needs, so... Another... Yep, he is playing the zombie deck. This will be interesting. These are both very aggressive decks. I feel like his deck probably... another land. Probably has a slight edge. We don't want to hit more lands here. We could cast this guy just as a 2/2. I don't feel like that's what we want to do, though, so we're actually just going to pass and leave up Counterspell in case he plays something that we don't want him to play. And then next turn we can play this guy, who's very good. That's a bad card, so we're going to let him play that. And we're going to take 1 damage. So, a bit of a waste of mana here. You always want to try and use your mana if you can, but it was worth it to keep Counterspell up, because he could have played something better than what he did. So, we're just going to play Illusionary Servant here. It's a big old flyer. For a 3/4 flyer is insanely good. It does have the drawback that if it gets targeted, it dies, but luckily for us, in the black deck, pretty much every card that targets is a kill spell anyhow, so it's fine. It's whatever. Let's see what he's got on turn 4. He's going to go to combat. Not going to attack. And he doesn't have a play, so that's a good play for us. He could have played something to make us sack our guy, but he didn't. So now we're going to be able to get out Lord of Illusions and hold up Counterspell just in case he tries to kill us. And we're also going to be able to get in 4 damage. So he stopped the clock. Doomblade. So we're going to Counterspell that. There we go. Counterspell just means that the spell doesn't happen, so we counter the Doomblade, and we have this guy, which is good. So unless he has another kill spell next turn, we have this, which is going to let us counter something else, but he is going to manage to kill it. Alright. It happens. Not a big deal. We're going to take 1 here. Alright. Another land. That is not good for us at all. We're just going to go to combat. And if he casts anything next turn, we are going to use Snapcaster Mage to counter it. Because we want to use our lands, like I was saying before. It'll also give us a board presence next turn. So let's see what he does. Black Cat. We're going to counter that. Okay. Cast. Cat. So there we go. And we're going to take 1 damage here, that's fine. No blocks. So he's got 2 cards in hand. No more spells, that's good to know. Oh my god, this land. Alright, so we're getting super mana screwed here, which is really bad for this deck. We do have 1 more counterspell up, though. So we know that he doesn't have any spells in hand. He didn't play any more last turn. If he plays something big, we will be able to counter it again. Something like a Grave Titan or a Nightmare. So he's thinking, what's he going to play here? Vileborn Ghoul. I don't think we care about that, so... No attacks. That's interesting. Alright, so we draw an amazing card here. Cryptic Command. Counter target spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand, tap all creatures your opponents control, or draw a card. We get to do 3 of those things. So, we're going to go to combat here. We're going to attack with our flyer. And then we're going to leave back Snapcaster to block. He can trade with his Vileborn Ghoul. And keep our mana up. Again, to counter anything that we don't want to see. Like Liliana's Reaver. Let's see. How do we want to respond to that? Probably going to Dream Fracture it. That way we get to draw a card. Hopefully another land. Oh my god. This is really bad. It's called mana flooding, and we're doing it bad. So we're gonna trade here. I think this guy can come back. Yeah, that's fine. Finally, something that's not a land. So let's go to combat. Attack for 3. And then cast our second man. And hold up Cryptic Command again. So he's on 5. If he gets another swamp, he can get his big threats out, which would be bad for us. Cruel Revival. I'm going to counter that. So we're going to counter target spell, and we're going to draw a card. Because we don't care about this guy. He can stay on the battlefield. That's fine. There we go. Another island. Oh my god. Oh, he was targeted though. So that kills it. I forgot that's how it worked. That's too bad. So he's probably going to attack here. Yeah. And that was my mistake. I forgot that just targeting kills the illusion. So... oh well. We're getting so flooded though. We should have... I mean, this game should have been over. Skip blocking. All we've drawn is islands. Alright, that's not an island. Let's get him down. And attack with a 3/2 flyer. Pass the turn. See what he's got. He has 4 cards in hand. It's a lot more than us, which is bad. Do I care about taking 1 damage? No. Well, he doesn't want to attack anyhow. Alright, so he's going to pass the turn to us. He has all of his mana up. That's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and cast him. Make this guy a 4/3. And then we're going to attack with him. So, the reason we're not playing this last island is because he doesn't know we only have an island, especially with blue. By having this card in hand, sometimes we can trick him into thinking that we have a card when we don't. So, that's why sometimes you want to keep your last land in hand, especially when you have so much land here. We're going to keep that in hand too. We don't need 9 lands. So let's go to combat. We've got 6 right now. So I think we just want to attack here with him, and then we have lethal next turn. Alright. And then we'll pass the turn back. There's not really any point to attack with these guys. He's going to be dead in 2 turns anyhow. If we attack, we can actually let him get a guy, which we don't want to do. Like, this guy has Undying, so if he dies, he's going to come back as a 2/2. That's not going to be good. Although now it looks like we should have, because if we got 2 damage in there, I forgot he had this stupid card. So here comes Nightmare. That's going to be a problem. It's going to be a giant flyer. 6/6. So now we're going to pass. And we're going to draw more land. So, good stuff. Skip attack. So we might actually end up losing because of this. Well, because of this, we've drawn lots of lands and very few spells. So, yeah, here comes a Grave Titan. Here comes all of his big guys, and we just didn't get enough spells, unfortunately. So, if we can bounce this, we might have a chance to win, but I don't think we do. So, alright, well that's a guy. It's only going to be he's going to be a 4/4, I suppose. And that's all we've got, so we can't attack. Pass the turn. So if he attacks with his Titan, we are going to kill it. Jeez, he's got all the big stuff now. Yeah. Alright. He still only has one flyer, but he can attack with the Grave Titan and do a ton of damage. And killing it doesn't actually do anything because it comes back, so it actually gives him more zombies. I think we're just going to have to take it. Whatever he attacks with, we're just going to have to take. But he's not going to attack. That's interesting. Alright, so we attack, we get in 4 here. Because he'll go through, he'll die. I think we just need to play him and pass. So next turn, unless he gets a flyer down, we can do 8. It's not quite going to be enough. Here comes that thing. It's going to put him up to 10. And another zombie. Okay. So he should at least attack with Micaiah's here, because Micaiah's has Intimidate, so we can't actually block him. But I mean, honestly, he should just attack with everything. He can just put so much damage through that we're not going to be able to block most of it, and we're going to have to kill most of our guys. But he doesn't. He just passes again. Alright, so if I play him, he turns into a 6/6. He still dies. We get 8 damage through. And then next turn, we can present lethal. So I'm going to attack here. So if I attack like this, he only has 1 flyer. How many guys can I block next turn? I can block 3 guys? No. We're going to skip. Next turn I can just win. The reason I didn't attack there is because it would only leave me with 3 blockers, and he has a bunch of guys. So I can, next turn I can attack with him too, and maybe it'll give me enough damage to take him out. The problem is he's gaining life every turn. The fact that he just killed that guy is really bad. Okay, he's going to give all creatures -1/-1. That's going to do nothing. Yeah, here comes the attack. Alright, so we're taking 6, 10, 12, 14. Alright, so we need to block here, here. So that puts us at 10, 13. We go to 3. right? I think that's right. We don't want to block with these guys. Right, 8. Oh, wait, that's 8, 9, 10. Oh, he's blocking with these guys, too. I didn't see these guys. Yeah, we're going to die. We have to block here. So that's 8, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's still lethal, so let's block him. Alright. What's this do? It doesn't matter. We lost. We lost. We're just going to concede. Oh, I guess we're not going to concede because you can't. We were going to cast him as a big guy. We're going to pass the turn. Yeah, that's overkill at this point. It doesn't matter. All he has to do is attack, and we lose. So, unfortunately, we just drew all lands early in the game, and this deck's very aggressive. So, if you draw all lands, you lose, and that's exactly what happened. We're not going to block. Anyhow, pretty good match, I guess. Actually, they weren't really that good. One, we just stomped our opponent, and the other one, we just got stomped because we didn't get what we needed. But sometimes that's how it goes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Check out the links in the description, and I will have more coming your way shortly. Later, guys.